Oi, get out of it!
Welcome to the Out of It podcast. Like, comment, subscribe. Today, my guest is Mike Healy. Gang, check out his toes. What's cool? I'm going to talk to Wesley sometime soon.
Old Wes.
Do you have any idea of what I should ask him?
I would ask him how he got going. Yeah. He basically all sort of Wesley just started posting videos on TikTok and social media and shit, and his videos are quite funny, and he just sort of his creativeness started coming out in that situation. I would call him a social media entertainer more than a comedian.
I mean, I'd like to call him comedian as well, because he did a whole tour of the country, which is sick.
Oh,
but
yeah.
also,
He made money doing it too.
Yeah.
That's more than most of us can actually say that we can.
It's so funny that he was like, I'm kind of sick of the admin. I'm going to go get a job again.
Yeah.
And the fact that he had the opportunity to say that, it's like, oh my God.
That's also white privilege for you as well.
Let's go. We're chilling then. I'm sorted. You're sorted.
Exactly.
We're fine.
Not middle-aged, young white boys can get jobs without even trying. When I was, I never not got a job that I went for an interview for until I turned about 40, and then things started changing a little bit. But every time I went for an interview, I could talk myself into the job, no problem at all.
Yeah, but even then, once you get it going for an interview, isn't that pretty much the go?
Not in a farming situation, because a lot of the farming jobs, you might have 10 or 15 people interviewing for the same position.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Some of those farming jobs, you might even have, like we used to apply, and you'd have maybe 30 or 40 people applying for the position. Oh, so you've got to whittle that down, and then you take it down to the top 5. Or you might take 10 people, and then you'll go and do reference checks on the 10 people, and you'll ring their bosses and their ex-bosses and stuff.
Yeah, because
you'll be able to cut those 10 down to probably 5.
Oh. Because some of the fellas that I knew that went into farming were just some of the most ADHD buggers on the planet.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and it was almost just like having a hyper dog, and it's like, just let him on the farm. Just let him run wild.
To an extent, but they have to have enough focus. Like, my son was farming for a while, and he really enjoyed it. He's ADHD, and he really enjoyed it. But they have to have enough focus on what they're doing and have somebody that's keeping them on track reasonably well as well.
Yeah.
They're very hard. You can't leave somebody like that to their own devices if they're not super organised.
Yeah, because especially on a farm as well, it's so whatever the day entails. Kind of.
No 2 days are the same at all.
Yeah,
and
it's kind of just what needs to be done gets done.
Yeah, but every year, I mean, I was farming for 25 years, and I don't think there was a year went by that I didn't learn something new.
Yeah,
like some sort of condition that a cow had that I'd never seen before, or some sort of situation that I'd never encountered before.
Yeah,
in the 25 years, there was always something that came up that I'd never seen before. Or it came up again and someone turns around and goes, how the fuck did you know that? And it's because it was something that had happened before.
Intellectual.
You remember shit.
Yeah.
It's like jokes.
Well, I mean, it's like this as well. Like the amount of mistakes I have made doing this.
You're learning though. It's a learning process, and I really enjoy it. I think it's a really cool thing.
I'm not planning on making the same mistake twice.
I am keen. Like, if you ever wanted somebody as an offsider to be there, so that you've got that chemistry where you've got an extra person to bounce off, I am keen as to help out, because I don't do fuck all a lot of the time anyway.
Oh my God! Don't need to make everyone. Your daughter's gonna be like, "Oh, Dad, that's so sad."
Yeah, I know. She always fucking. Most of the things I gauge. Billy is the big gauge on a lot of the stuff. I think what's funny and what's not funny, and I'll talk to her, and she also puts it through the lens of somebody that potentially can be easily offended by a lot of shit as well. And she'll tell me whether I'm striking the line of being offensive or not.
Got you. That's all right. Because Dad loves coming up with like jokes and stuff. Like, he's always telling me what he's been thinking about.
Yeah.
And half the time it is like, brother, we're past that point. Like, I would have thought that was good when I started, but I've been learning a little bit more. But he is too. And it was just last night that I finally tried a joke that he like suggested, and I didn't just brush it off. And I was like, oh, okay, he does have some good ideas.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I've got a friend who's a farmer, Yeah. And when I started getting into comedy, he's constantly sending me material, like jokes and stuff like that. And I'd turn around to him and I'd sort of say, I said, well, why don't you try it? And he's like, no, I don't. He's like, I could never do that. But I do like the craft. So he ends up sort of sending me shit, and then we start talking about what's good and what's not good.
Yeah, and then you got writers.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. But like some of the things he talks about, I think one of the ones I used to do was one where he talked about was bought a AI sex doll off the internet. Lifelike and realistic, they said.
Oh, yeah, that one. Yeah. I remember it.
Had it for 2 weeks. Hasn't argued with me once. Not very fucking lifelike.
Oh, that was him. Yeah. That was a particularly good one. Oh, nice.
And then he was the one that also went into the really gross part of that joke as well. So
well, you do just, even when you're...
I can't help. My mind always goes to the grossest places.
And sometimes you just have to write those out.
Well, watching Jimmy Carr last night, it's like he immediately goes to the grossest places and just keeps and doubles down. Yeah. When he gets to that point and everybody starts to go, oh, fuck, you might have taken it too far, then he'll take it that next step further. Oh, that's what I really like about it.
Is that a good thing for you to be inspired by?
No,
it's more like, yeah, cool, it's good and all, but now we have to all sit through the growing process, the learning process, the writing process, and then trying it being bad.
I actually wrote one today based on what I'd seen him do.
Yeah.
And it was a sort of a situation, I was thinking about something and it just came together, and it was like surveys. I hate modern surveys today because of AI and all of that sort of shit. You can't trust the surveys nowadays. Yep. You can't trust the information that's given to you. Saw a survey where it said that 1 out of 4 Australians have a below average sized penis. It never said anything about the fact that the other 3 Australians didn't know how to work a fucking ruler.
Oh, yes, very good, very nice. That is not the worst thing in the world.
That's not bad. It's not bad.
That was one of the cleanest jokes I've ever heard you say.
But it was talking about penises.
I know, but that's the scientific term.
But it's a clean way of talking. I'm changing.
It's a joke about Australians being dumb, not a joke about scungy dicks.
Exactly. It's a dig about Australians not only being dumb, but also having very tiny penises. So I think it's great. It fucking works on both levels as far as I'm concerned.
Stellar.
I think the last time we spoke was when I hadn't gone to Australia.
Yes.
Went over to Australia. I went to Perth for the wrestling.
Yeah.
That was fucking sick.
Exactly. Well, I mean, I still do not understand how you get into the wrestling stuff, because it's so obvious that they're not even hitting each other.
Yeah, but you're telling stories on stage and it's so obvious that those stories aren't real, but they're still funny.
Lovely.
These guys are having a go at hitting each other, and you know it's not real, but it's still entertaining.
Yeah.
Because of the way they're doing it. They're putting on a show. They are telling a story by using physical means to do so. That's what I like about it. You're looking very sketch about that situation.
I just have given it a couple chances and it's fallen so flat both times.
I just really like it. I really like it. I mean, to be honest with you, if you want to see what professional wrestling is really all about, and you don't believe it's real or anything else.
Oh, I don't care if it's real or not.
Watch the second Hell in a Cell between Mankind and The Undertaker.
Yeah.
It's like, you can look it up on YouTube in 5 seconds. That, if you don't understand wrestling, that is the one thing that you'll go, oh, okay. I understand why people like this.
Because it's all the dramatization of everything.
So much shit.
Yeah. But, I just can't be bothered with it.
But it's the storyline that's building up before it. Because, like I said to you last time, because I helped out, I was helping run a wrestling promotion. I got to see what was happening behind
And you haven't done any more reffing for that?
No, ring announcing or anything else. No, I haven't had the opportunity to do that.
Stink. Because have you and Kat organised another show?
Our own shows for the Grumpy Hobbit.
Yeah, just any old situation.
Yeah, Kat was talking about, we're trying to get, because I think CJ doesn't want to do the Hamilton ones anymore, so I think we're trying to get the contacts for Lido and do the Lido, because that would be cool.
That would be very good, very nice.
I'm trying to contact the Tiamutu dude, and we've sort of had a bit of a back and forward, and he said, I'll get back to you, but he hasn't gotten back to me. That's not necessarily a good sign.
No.
I want to do the Stallions in Cambridge.
Yeah.
Because it has a upstairs room and it's fucking mean.
Oh, yeah.
When Wes did his open mic thing that he was doing, I went along to that, and that was in Cambridge, and it's a really good room.
Because there's a guy in Martin
who
works as like a horse trainer.
Oh,
He's
okay.
booked. Last year he booked like a North Island tour. Like they started doing stand up last year, and so they're not like the most amazing comedians in the world, but it's just like a super fun show, and he just brings all the mates and stuff on, and like Manish and Callum and Cajun, they all do it all the time and stuff.
Okay.
And he's already organised another one for this year that he hasn't like announced yet, but he's definitely on the phones.
How does he manage to do that? He just got the right contacts.
He's clearly not even like he was asking me, being like, because they're all from like
Auckland.
South. South North Island.
Because Cajun's
Wanganui.
Oh yeah, he was Napier or something, wasn't he? Or
No, he's Wanganui.
Oh, okay. Is he still down there?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He's fucking mean.
Exactly. He's one of the best comedians
I love him.
I've ever
so
seen
cool.
in my entire life. I need to do one of these with him.
Very, very. Oh, 100%. 100%. It's like that joke that I just told you. I messaged Callum.
Yeah.
And I sent Callum the joke, and fucking, you don't. If you want advice, don't send a joke to Callum, because he'll just fucking unpack it in so many different ways.
Oh well, that's what we want.
And strip it down and sort of say, I don't understand what your intention is when you were saying this bit, and blah blah blah, blah. And it's just like, holy crap, but in a really good way.
No, that is what I want, because the last time I sent anybody a joke to be like, oi, is this any good? They did just read it, and they gave me back some pretty mean lines, but then they didn't point out the flaws, and there were a lot. And so I was like, okay, cool, good to know. I need to know the flaws, because I ended up saying the joke, and I sent the joke to somebody else, and they told me the flaws after I went on stage. Yeah. And so it was like, flaws,
Potentially
flaws, and you're right, they didn't work.
Yeah, that's the one. And I mean, and the only way you can get it right is just to have a go. And then you know what's happening. It works or it doesn't work. But we need those places. The problem we have now is that we're lacking the places where we can do that. Yeah, especially around here
in Hamilton.
I would love to start up.
Yeah,
comedy club again.
Like when I was,
but financially, it's just not a viable.
No, comedy club, a whole comedy club. No. That's.
I've still got real estate agents hounding me. And there was because I'd sort of put feelers out every now and then. Right. And there was
used to little cocktails.
A little bit. There was a coffee shop in fucking one of those streets that comes down off Hood Street. Yeah. Down there that, like, you could run it during the day as a coffee shop, and then potentially get a license to run it as like a night venue place as well, and then you could do shows 2 or 3 nights a week or something.
Because there's a cafe in Narrawakia that has just done that kind of thing. They're like, I saw them putting.
Well, that's what we did at Morrinsville with Loxy.
Exactly the same as Loxy's situation. Yeah. And so almost can't wait to get back from Vietnam to run a show.
Hit them up and sort of say...
Exactly. There's so many venues in Narrawakia.
There's opportunities too, and that's the thing. And I think we probably made a mistake, because what we try and do is we try and do monthly shows, and we think, okay, monthly shows is cool. We'll get people coming along, we'll get regular people, and we'll get new people coming in, and we'll just keep it going. But it just doesn't seem to quite work that way. The first show we put on is always a really good one. Yeah. And then it starts to teeter off. So maybe we do one every 3 months, and we try and find more venues, so as that we've got... And maybe we have one place like Spates Ale House. I've said to the guy, he's quite keen to run like fortnightly open mics or something like that.
That would be stellar.
But that wouldn't make any money for anybody. So that's a bit of a love type situation.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking. The open mic would be the hard one to organise.
Because whoever's doing it basically has to do it for free.
Yeah.
And that does make it difficult.
That is just taking it on the chin.
And it's a hard situation. I could do it.
They're so grim.
They can be sometimes.
But I don't...
I really like it, though. I sometimes really like it when you have these people that think they're funny as fuck. and then they get up on stage and they go to have a go and they bomb. And they don't just bomb, but they bomb badly. The worst one, do you remember at the Cook, there was a guy...
I've never been at the Cook.
I can't remember what his name was, but it was like, he never turned up again.
Oh, nice.
It was some stupid name like Felix or something like that. He had a gimmick, and it was the idea was quite cool. He had pants and a suspender and shirt, almost Pee Wee Herman-y type look.
Yeah.
And he started talking and the jokes just didn't really land, and the acoustics there isn't good.
Yeah.
And the jokes just didn't really land that well, and he started to panic, and then he went to get off stage, and as he went to get off stage, he tripped and fell flat on his fucking face in front of everybody.
On purpose or no?
No.
Oh.
But he fell flat on his face in front of everybody.
Yeah.
And then got up and just walked outside and sat down outside in a massive panic attack.
Well, hopefully
and just sat there, and it was like, I said to all the new guys, I'd been doing it for a couple of months, and then I said to all the new people that were having to go or anything, trust me, dude, you can't be any worse than that guy.
Oh.
Can't remember what his fucking name was, but it was just
Poor fella.
holy shit, man.
Poor fella.
It was painful to watch.
Because did you see that guy at the last Tauranga open mic at the Bruco one? The little ginger guy with his shirt tucked in. And
Alex or whatever his name was.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Because he actually had some jokes up his sleeve. It was like,
he had some good ones, and then he went down your line of just telling you generic jokes.
Oh, well, that was completely fine for a first try.
Yeah,
First try was one of the best
when
I've
you
ever
run
seen.
out of shit, it's okay to do stuff like that.
Or if you've just never done it before.
If
like,
you've never done it before. I know Chase, the first time Chase did it, he just basically told jokes that were just jokes that everybody
Because even
tells.
then, half the, like, sometimes I told him, like, oh, like, how much do you write jokes? He said, no, just take them. I was like, oh, well, you can't be doing that. That's silly.
Yeah, it's like, I don't take other people's jokes. I like some of the jokes that I've heard are jokes that have come from fucking miles ago, and almost nobody knows them. So that sort of, I almost steal them as being mine anyway.
Yeah, Dad definitely pointed that out. One of the first couple of times we saw you, because you were saying like the old sheep jokes or whatever.
They're old.
Exactly.
They're very old.
Dad was because I never heard them, so I thought, wow, this guy's good. But then Dad's like, no, he's a fucking hack.
Cheers, man. Thank you. It's that sort of situation. Yeah, those ones. It's like that's, but that's fair enough. That's fair enough. I'll take that on the chin. I'll take that on the chin. The sheep jokes, the generic sheep jokes, and it's hard to make new jokes about that sort of shit because it's the same.
Well, yeah, you don't have to joke about that. Like, I mean, what can you write about? How much have you written about farming?
Well, that's the problem. I have written some jokes about farming. I write the ones about the fact that farming, like mating season and night clubbing, are very similar.
Oh, yeah.
Because you're wandering around looking for the horny chicks trying to get their numbers down.
Yeah.
It's the same in farming because you're actually literally, physically, you stand on a post as the cows are walking out of the paddock looking for the horny ones trying to get their numbers.
Yeah.
So it's like...
What's it called? Because did you find it kind of hard to write about something like farming?
If it's too personal to me, it can be quite difficult to do something about.
Or even just like something you've done forever.
What I find hard is to make some of the stories funny.
Yeah.
Like there was a situation where I was busting for a shit and I ended up shitting my pants and cracking 2 ribs.
Yeah.
It was a fucking funny story, but it's how do you tell it in a way that makes it really funny?
Yeah.
It was like when you're like on the farm I was on, the toilet was kilometres away.
Yeah.
Like you had to jump in a car and drive down the road and back around. It took about a minute to get back.
Yeah.
I was busting for a shit. It's easier. There's no toilet at the cow shed. 5 o'clock in the morning, it's just easier to run out of the shed. On the other side of the race, there's a little paddock down to the side that goes down a hill where there's a little bush at the bottom that you can go and hide down in the bush and do a dump. Easy peasy. So me going down the hill, I forgot at 5 o'clock in the morning, I had the phone sort of trying to use it as a torch, and I forgot at 5 o'clock in the morning that there was a trough sunk into the hill. So as I'm walking down the hill, I go to take my next step, and I step into air because it's where the trough's sunk in it, and I step into the water, and as I go over, my fucking ribs land on the other side of the trough, crack 2 ribs, like lying there like that, and because I'm busting for a shit, the next thing that happens is I end up fucking not holding anything back anymore.
Nothing but pure relief in that
Complete
trough.
fucking shitting myself while I'm lying there in agony, in freezing water.
At that point, you just kind of hope you die.
I'm just sitting there going, fuck, how did I not die? You know, I'm just like, fuck. So eventually you sort of, you roll off the edge and you land on the other side. And I fucking just pulled my pants off. And I went, fuck this. Pulled my pants off, put my boots back on because I needed to get back up the hill. So I'm fucking up there, no pants, fucking holding my shitty pants in my hand. Walk up the hill. My worker's in the shed waiting for me to come back because he's about to start milking. And then he looks at me and he's like, what the fuck happened to you? And it's like, don't want to talk about it. I need to go home. I'm going to get Lisa to come down. It was just like, nah, I'm fucked.
Yeah, I'm trying to think because half the time about telling stories, I mean, I'm not good at it yet.
Yeah.
But I've been trying to research it. And one of the things it's like, you need a reason to tell the story. You can't just tell the story. So you need to give some. That's kind of like part of the setup is the contrast.
Yeah, and that's why writing. I've always wanted to write. I've sort of started writing solo shows that have a theme, so that I can get all those stories and I can put them together like a farming show.
100%, you could do that.
So I can do all those my old farming stories, and that way it's catered to people who are ex-farmers.
Yeah.
The other one I wanted to do was my life with pornography.
Yeah.
Because it's been in my life my entire life, and it's like I can map my life, and I can also map technology out by pornography. Like the advances in technology match different stages in pornography.
Do you have a VR headset?
Yep.
Oh, that's not good.
I have never watched VR porn with the headset though. I'm too scared. I'm too scared. I'm never going to end up wanting to fuck another woman again if I end up discovering the joys of VR.
That'll be
VR
the case.
porn, you know.
Yeah, bro. That'll be the case.
See, that's a new type of sexuality, really, isn't it? You've got.
Oh.
My daughter tells me that I'm not fucking heterosexual anymore, so I don't she's gay, or she's transgender as well, so I think she sees the world through rainbow glasses anyway.
Yeah.
So she sees everybody being a little bit gay. She thinks I'm a little bit gay. Because I say things about fucking dudes, but I never actually want to go and fuck a dude.
Exactly. I swear everyone's girlfriend thinks they're gay, and it's like, chill out. Yeah. Just having fun with the boys.
It's like, yeah. I always make jokes about fucking dudes. It doesn't mean that I actually want to go and fuck anyone.
Yeah, you can't fuck a lady, let alone a guy.
These guys
are clean and tidy.
You've got to establish the fact that no one wants to fuck me anyway. Yeah. So, I mean, therefore, all of these jokes are exactly jokes.
If a sad lady won't do it, a pretty gay boy won't either.
Yeah. Sometimes I think I get to a point where if I'm desperate enough and a dude starts hitting on me, would I say no?
Danger.
Close your eyes.
Yeah, I will be walking away. Oh my God.
So I was talking to my daughter today, and one of the things I never want to do is get too personal in situations that involve other people in my comedy.
Oh, yeah. Got you.
Because I see things, and it's like I watched... One of the best comedy shows I've ever seen last night was a special. Have you heard of a guy called Christopher Titus?
Maybe.
He's an American comedian. He did a sitcom based on his life.
Yeah.
And now he's done a 1-hour show called Carrying Monsters. And it is dark as fuck.
Yeah.
It's talking about his life. And it's like, you would not believe... Like, most people would not believe half the shit that happened. Some of the things... He got kidnapped. He had all sorts of shit happen. When he was 4 years old, he was wandering the streets looking for his mum.
Yeah.
Because he just walked out of a bar. It was like... His mum was manic depressive, paranoid schizophrenic, and a lot of the time unmedicated. Mm-hmm. She was absolutely...
So his life was just a nightmare, and he got to talk about it.
And he just... talked about the whole thing, but he did it in such a way. Yeah. And he made joke, and he said, this is so dark. There will come times when you turn around and you just go, fuck, and just clap about the fact that, that was dark as fuck, but congratulations, you've written a fantastic joke. And he talked about, because his mother ended up committing suicide, and his mother's daughter ended up committing suicide as well. And he managed to talk about these things in a way that wasn't funny, but it had that element of humour to it.
Yeah.
But still really serious.
Yeah.
It's what I think Callum would call it, a traumedary.
Yeah.
So it's trauma comedy
Got ya.
type scenario.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have a gander at it now.
Yeah. But what I don't like about that sort of scenario is what you're actually doing.
Yeah.
He only ever asked one person for permission as to whether he can tell the story about that sort of scenario. All the other people, it's like he didn't give a fuck.
Yeah, or were they like dead by the sounds of it?
Either dead or cunts.
Yeah.
So he didn't really care.
Yeah.
So that's the situation from that perspective. I don't want to tell true stories about people that paint anybody else in a bad light but myself.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm more than prepared to tell stories about things that make me look like an idiot.
Yeah.
But I don't want to tell stories that make other people look like an idiot.
Well, even then, half the time I think whether it's the story or the situation, you can the jokes don't really come from that person making a fool of themselves, but like just what you're thinking about as the things are happening.
And what I've seen and what I saw last night, it's like, and what you do quite well, it's the times when you use descriptive words to paint a picture.
Yeah, well, that's
and if you painted an absurd picture with descriptive words, that's really funny. Like Jimmy Carr talking last night about like older women, if they shave down there, it kind of looks like a person sticking their face out the window in a wind tunnel or something like that, where it's going.
Yeah, that's quite feral. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like you can get a mental picture.
Yeah,
straight away.
I sure
you get
did.
those, and it's such a cool thing to be able to. You paint those mental pictures, and people can't help but piss themselves laughing because it's such a funny.
You're just gonna go through all your jokes now with a thesaurus.
Paint mental pictures.
Well, yeah, we'll just like use different describing words and be like, cool, yeah. I've written...
Well, that's the sort of thing you learn to do in Toastmasters as well.
Oh, yeah.
Descriptive words, you pick up on all of that sort of thing, and descriptive words can be very good. And what they do in Toastmasters is they'll have a word of the day. And when you're doing your speeches and stuff, you've got to try and incorporate that word.
Do you reckon going back to the Ripper Toastmasters course would be helpful?
I'll probably go back to doing it because it doesn't take much. It's only like the one we do is like every second and fourth Wednesday of the month or something or other. So that's in Morrinsville. So it's just a matter of getting to Morrinsville. It's a 2-hour thing, and then you do the courses and stuff. Possibly.
Yeah.
Possibly. And in some ways I feel like I've outgrown it to an extent.
Yeah.
But then in other points it's like I'm always referring back to the structure that they talk about.
Yeah.
Because a speech structure is the same as a joke.
Yeah.
It's the same. It's like you introduce the topic, you talk about the topic, and then you cover up what you've just said in some sort of witty way or some sort of way to make it all sound cool.
Yeah.
So I find that pretty awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty convenient. Because, like, frankly, at this rate, after doing all this, and the same feeling when I did, like, silly calculus at university, all I wanted to do was go back to high school and just knock those, like, tests and speeches out of the water. You look back on that,
and that's the thing.
Yeah.
It's like when I left before I left high school, I wanted to be an avionics technician in the Air Force.
Yeah.
And so I went and did the entrance exam at the Army base in Knox Street. They have a recruitment centre in Knox Street there in Hamilton. And so I went to the recruitment centre and I went through the first test and I didn't pass the written.
Yeah.
Because there was certain areas that was like mechanical engineering was lacking. My general mechanical knowledge at the time was lacking. And there was a couple of other things. My electronic knowledge like Ohm's law and all of that sort of stuff was lacking. Yeah. And then I went and did a technician certificate in electronics straight afterwards. If I'd gone back the next year, and I would have just ripped that test to pieces. Yeah. Because I'd learned like all of, when I went into the electronics course, we learned Ohm's law and all the other bits and pieces and all of the quadratic equations and the logic puzzles and all the other stuff.
Oh, logic is a bastard. I
loved it. It was so straightforward.
Oh, we're clearly thinking about different logics. My God, the stuff I had to do was confusing.
Are you talking about the logic gates and the and, or, yeah, they're so simple.
Oh yeah, that part is. Afterwards.
The bits that got me, when I lost the engineering, I started losing faith in engineering when the mathematics just start. When they start talking about imaginary numbers to work out shit.
Oh, yeah.
That's you fucking lose me then.
Well, it's just a different plane.
you see there, you just fucking lost me again. It's that situation where you're like, yeah, no, that's so far beyond my level of comprehension that I just can't get my head around it.
Yeah,
it was like, that's when I realised that I probably wasn't at the intellect level that I needed to be in that way of thinking. I think that I'm a reasonably intelligent person. My therapist one day turned around to me and goes, you know, you're really, really smart for a dairy farmer.
Nice.
I'm like, thanks.
Yeah.
It's like, I think
it's
like I think that's a compliment.
Yeah, so you just kind of like fell into dairy farming kind of thing, because like obviously, I mean, to do electricity is one confusing bastard.
It is complicated.
Like my friends are doing electrical engineering, and it's a bit more complex.
I tell you what though, it's like I learned more about electrical circuits when I went farming than I did when I was in electronics.
Oh yeah, I was going to say, because
the hot wire, the electric fences,
don't touch
trying to find faults in electric fences and stuff like that. You literally have to follow the basic principles of electronics, which is the basic principles of flow with water and all of that sort of stuff. Water always takes the path of least resistance. So if you're looking for a leak, you're always sort of going to the point where it's like, let's follow it to the end position. So electrical circuits are exactly the same. If something's going wrong, it's going to take the path of least resistance. So you look at things and it's okay, well that's wrong. So it's probably there's a problem that way, or there's.
So what did you do in the electrical course then? I
did technician certificate in electronics, and then when I finished that, I went on to do NZCE electrical, specialising in electronics, and I did the first year of that at Wintech. And I passed 3 of the 5 papers, but it was like I didn't do well in mechanics, and the maths side of it started to
like the physics and stuff like
I was starting to struggle. I could have kept going, but I just felt like I was going to be pushing shit uphill to comprehend it all the time. And my old man, I was 19 at the time, and my old man said, you're not getting any fucking younger, you better go and get a decent job.
Oh jeez, that's a bit of a rush. 19, chill out.
And that's why I sort of said, well, you know, I kind of know what I'm doing with the farming, so I'll start doing farming. And I went and got a job with the neighbour up the road. But I was living in the house with another young fella, or not young, older guy. That's the start of my drug habit.
Lovely.
He was a pot smoker that grew shit in the bush out the back somewhere where the boss didn't know, sort of thing, you know. So the amount of weed we had floating around the house, it was like I got a crash course in smoking weed on a very, very high level at that point. And then I was there for about 6 months, and then I struggled living on my own, or living with him and trying to look after myself and do the job, the farm job and everything else. And this guy, the guy I worked for, was Jim Grayling was a really decent guy, but he worked you like an absolute bastard. Really, really hard work.
Working with Dad, they're like, bro, from all this university stuff, all they're talking about is critical thinking and problem solving. But they give you like 6 months to plan out the solution.
Critical thinking and problem solving, when I ended up taking over Dad's farm and everything else, you develop this skill of like seeing everything at once. You look at a scenario and you can see all of the different problems happening at once and all of the solutions to those problems before anything even starts to happen.
But like being there is so different to like what they're trying to teach us.
It's like when you're dealing with livestock, it's like if something can go wrong, it probably fucking will. So you've got to look at every weak situation and think, okay, there's a weak point in this, or when you're drafting a cow, you're doing this or you're doing that. She's likely to go this way, or she's likely to go that way. And it's situations like that. I learned a lot more. I learned a lot more after I'd been doing martial arts.
You a ninja?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Well, not a ninja. I only did it for 5 years, so I can't exactly class myself as
pretty long.
I got like 1 level before black belt type scenario.
What?
And then I met my ex-wife, and
what martial art is that?
So it was incorporated martial arts. The base of what they do is taekwondo. But then you do a lot of grabs and throws and pressure points, and self-defense, a lot of self-defense, a lot of grappling moves, learning how to tie somebody up in a successful manner. Also,
successful manner.
It's like that sort of stuff.
Ooh,
where you're doing the.
So you are a ninja.
But it's literally like there's a drill that you used to do where the punch comes in that way and you block it that way. You put your hand up and then you punch back. And then the other person does the same thing and you start going through this routine. And as the next punch comes, then you start applying little techniques as you go.
Oh, yeah.
And then you add a little bit to it and then you work out how to put another lock in and then another one. And then you add, so you just keep on adding these little pieces to your bow when it comes to that sort of stuff. And it's really cool when you get put in situations where someone tests you. Like I used to help do security up at the pub. And every now and then you'd have to walk somebody out and they'd go to put a hand on you in a certain way. And you just grab them and you just tweak the finger slightly as you go to move the hand off. Or you do something and they just sort of look at you like, ooh, wait a minute. I don't think I need to fuck with this guy.
No, you get to use your ninja skills.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, but just in subtle, like, there's certain places if you, like if someone goes to punch you, if you block them, there's certain places along the arm that if you just aim for somewhere in that sort of area, you're going to hit a nerve, you're going to hit a pressure point.
Oh, lovely.
And it just hurts that a little bit more.
Oh, yeah.
So instead of just putting your hand up to block it, you sort of aim to strike one of those points along that little bit in there. If you get the bit there, then...
And so you're doing this as like a young adult, like in your 20s or
I
something?
was 28, 29 when I started doing it.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. I was quite old. It was after I went farming.
Yeah.
And then after a few years of working on Dad's farm as a share milker, we both decided that I was shit and that he needed to put somebody else on the farm.
Lovely.
It was a mutual decision. Well, it was his decision, but it was a mutual decision that I wasn't really cut out to do that at that point in time. I think it was hard. I didn't talk to Dad for a while after that, and I look back at it and I'd say it was probably the hardest conversation my old man ever had to have with me.
Well, to get you going.
To tell me that he didn't want me to hang around
the farm.
Yeah, basically to fire me.
Yeah.
That would have been an incredibly difficult conversation to have.
Yeah.
So that was hard. And it wasn't until I took the time to look at it from his perspective that I went, okay. Because I reacted as you would expect.
Yeah.
When
poorly.
You get fired.
Yeah, well, you got fired, yeah.
Yeah, and when you're talking to the person who fired you and you have no filter towards that person, then every bad word, every bad thought you've ever had comes out.
Yeah.
So I said some pretty horrible things to my old man that day.
Yeah.
And I didn't talk to him for a while.
Yeah.
And I felt quite guilty for that. But my old man's very much like me. We sort of blow up, calm down real quick, and then we can turn around, shake hands and apologise, and we're over it.
Oh, but that didn't happen then.
That was the first time.
Oh.
It had never happened it was the only time it's ever happened.
Yeah.
And I got over it eventually.
Yeah.
It just took a little while.
Yeah.
Once I figured out what it was like from his perspective, then it was like, that makes a lot more sense.
I was annoying.
Yeah, and when you have children yourself, you start to realise a lot more too.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah. I feel like I'm punished for being a cunt when I was a kid because of the kids that I've got now.
Oh, nice. Yeah, because that's weird seeing my friends have kids, and it's like, it's just so odd.
It is a strange thing when your mates are all starting to have children, because I was quite old compared to most of my mates.
Yeah.
So I felt like I was falling behind.
Yeah.
But I eventually got there. But the cool thing, like when I finished working for Dad, I ended up going to England on a Young Farmers Exchange.
Yeah.
For 6 months.
Yeah.
So I travelled all around England, Ireland, Scotland, Wales, staying like between a week to 2 weeks at a time at each person's place. Didn't know anybody. Just kept bouncing from one young farming family to another one all around England, Ireland, Scotland, Wales for 6 months.
Yep.
It was a very long 6 months.
Real?
A very drunk 6 months.
Oh, there you go.
Incredibly drunk 6 months, because it was like every time you go to a new place, they're introducing you to all of the new sights and sounds. They take you to the local pub, because you're going to meet all the other young farmers at the local pub, because that's where they all fucking meet up. So the first night you get there, you're getting on the piss with all the locals to get to know them, and then the second night you go out somewhere else and you're drinking there, and then the third night is maybe a Friday or something like that, so you're definitely on the piss that night. And then the Saturday you might go to a new host, and then it starts all over again. So it's a very full-on situation.
Yeah, geez.
But you get to see some really cool things. I mean, I went from Essex to Blackpool for the Young Farmers Conference, and there was like 5,500 young farmers in one place for 5 days.
Really?
Just getting on the piss 5 days straight, and a lot of them were drinking all the way through.
Ruthless.
It was in Blackpool. Blackpool's a really weird place. They call it a pleasure beach, but it's like there's not much pleasant about it.
Yeah, and so these fellas just drinking their paychecks away.
Pretty much.
Like, Dad always told me about the shearers, and apparently the shearers are just like the most ruthless alcoholics.
That's how my old man made his money, though. That's how my old man ended up getting enough money to buy the dairy farmers through shearing.
Yeah.
It's hard work.
That's also
very, very hard work. But it's quite rewarding. I never got into shearing myself because we were always dairy farming, so I never learned how to shear sheep.
Yeah.
I could probably do it.
Yeah.
I could stumble through it because I've seen it done enough times. But I wouldn't be any good at it.
Like at high school, one of the teachers was like, "You guys are like 16, you're about to go on holidays. If you want a job and to actually make some cash, go you message me. I'll get you a job in Taranaki as a
Rousey.
Rousey." And we're like, that's pretty. He's telling like 50 boys.
It's big money.
This. Yeah,
big money.
Exactly. He said that, and then I went and told Dad about it, and he's like, "Girl's job, fuck off. You're not gonna be a Ramsey."
Well, the Rousey work's not too bad though.
Yeah.
The girls' jobs are more of the sorting. They're the sorters. So what they end up doing, you get the fleece, they share it. You get the fleece, and then they pick up the fleece and they throw it onto the bench.
Yep.
And then they take all the shitty bits off the edges of the fleece and everything else, and then they put that into the bale, and then that gets all. Or they'll grade it and they'll take the good bits out. Because there's certain.
I didn't realise there was that much quality control going on.
Oh, massive. Yeah. Massive. It's like everything. I worked in the orchards in the Hawke's Bay for a while as well. I was managing picking gangs and stuff, and that's another sort of situation where quality control is incredibly important.
And that's a seasonal job, right?
Very seasonal.
Yeah, that's what...
well, running the orchards there's a lot of work involved behind the scenes, but the biggest problem with the orchard sort of stuff is all your income is so condensed into that one
selling
season.
The fruit.
If everything has to go right to make that go right.
Yep.
If one thing goes wrong at the other end,
Yep.
you fuck everything out.
Yeah, I think my friend runs a pack house in Hastings.
That's hard work.
And so he's busy boy every single day.
When I came back from England, I worked in a pack house just up here, Sunford Orchards pack house up here for a little while.
Yeah.
The most boring job I've ever had in my life.
Just chucking fruit in a box.
I was literally, all we had to do was, where at the other end, there was a massive tray sorting bench, and that came down and that graded all of the fruit into different sizes.
Yep.
And then, so as it came down onto these conveyors, they had the different sizes and the different channels, and they had these cardboard trays. So these girls would put all the apples on the cardboard trays, and then it was our jobs as the runners at the other end there, that we'd grab the trays, we'd put them on in a box. We'd make up the box first because it was all flat cardboard. So you'd make up the box first, put it down like that, put the trays in the box, and you had to make sure that they were the right way around and put them in, and then put the lid on the box, put the box on the conveyor belt. Start all over again.
Jesus.
But you had to do, so there was 3 runners and 20 lines.
Yeah.
And sometimes all 20 lines were running at once.
And just
so
pumping.
the 3 runners were having to fill up the boxes for the 20 lines. So sometimes you would just, the second you started to the second they blew the whistle for smoko or whatever else, you would go.
Jeez.
But it was a very monotonous.
Yeah, because what I liked about working at the supermarket is it was so monotonous. And so...
You didn't have to think.
Bro, I wasn't thinking. All I was thinking about was jokes.
See, that's the problem. That's the problem I find, though. If I'm in a job that's really monotonous, my mind goes in so many fucking places.
But you're chilling.
It's
like you might as well be brainstorming the whole time because you can get the job done without thinking anything. And then I just kept like a...
Nah, well, you see, my mind goes down dark tunnels.
You get the dark tunnels out of the way because it's like riding.
It doesn't find its way out very quickly, though.
Yeah,
that's the problem.
Do
when I was milking cows, I'd start a milking and I'd end up down a dark hole, and by the end of the milking, I'd be so far down this tunnel that I wouldn't see where the light is anymore, and I'd be like, oh, fuck.
Because what's it called? When you're riding, do you ride for the rubbish bin?
What do you mean?
So like you're riding just simply vomiting on paper to the point where even if it's shit ideas, you just have to get it out of the way to make way for a good one.
I throw any ideas I have, I literally throw it into ChatGPT.
Yeah.
Just to get a gauge of, like I throw it there and 9 times out of 10 it looks at that and it turns around and goes, hey, that's really cool. When it gets to a point, if I throw one in, like I threw that joke into it, the Jimmy Carr joke that I was telling you, I threw that joke at it today, and it turned around and said actually that the structure of the whole thing and how you put it together is really sharp, and there's not a hell of a lot that needs to change.
Look at you go, you're
so you sort of sit there, when you sort of sit there, you're thinking, okay, so... And what it'll do, it's not so much that I use ChatGPT to write jokes, because I never do that. It's like, I'm never going to get...
You're getting engaged. You're out of the zeitgeist kind of thing. You're disconnected from the popular culture, so you kind of need someone to let you know if it's any good kind of thing.
Well, no, what I like to do is I'll throw a premise.
Yep.
I'll throw a massive premise at it with a joke within the premise, and then it'll spit out some ideas as far as directions I can go. And it might throw some jokes at me, but rather than take those jokes, I'll sort of take them as a suggestion as to what I can do as an example, but I won't necessarily use that as the example, because I just feel like AI seems like it's cheating.
It does seem like it's cheating, but it's also...
many people are doing it now, it makes it hard for you to figure out whether it's acceptable to do it or not.
Well, unless you're... Because nobody's using it solely to write the entire joke. I mean, I frankly don't. I use it to learn how to write jokes. The other day I was trying to figure out what's the difference between doing a 6-minute set and a 20-minute set, and what are the steps to getting to that 20-minute situation. Because
structure.
Yeah, the structure and the endurance and all these different things.
I don't know.
And it just gave, instead of finding a book,
25-minute sets, I found... It was really weird. The first time I did a 25-minute set was at Last Laugh.
Yeah.
And it was a reasonably decent-sized room. And I was the feature show, but I was the feature act that night, but mainly because it was... Tom was away and we just couldn't find anybody else. But
Good place to be.
I just jumped up. I'd been doing it there for nearly 6 months at that time.
Yeah.
So I was fairly comfortable in that environment, so that probably helped. But it felt more like because I had sat down on the stool, because I'm not going to stand for 25 minutes or whatever. So I sat down on the stool, and it was almost like I was chatting with the people in the audience.
Yeah, because that was one of the things...
it was like more of an engaging type scenario.
That was one of the things that said, it was like the 6-minute sets, the whole time you're kind of like begging for people to like you, whereas the 20-minute sets is kind of like, okay, cool, I introduce myself slowly, we build a rapport kind of thing. And even I was talking...
You almost develop a character, so that by the end of it, they understand your chain of thought. So when you start... The sweet spot is when you get to that point, when you start making these funny little suggestions.
Yeah.
Or use a funny terminology, and then you'll bring it back up.
Yeah, now all of a sudden it's like an inside joke.
The callbacks becomes a real fucking cool thing.
Yeah.
Like that thing I was telling you about with Christopher Titus, he talked about snuggling Grover, because it was an airport toy that was like really ugly, but then it was like snuggling my Grover sort of become a euphemism, and throughout his set he just kept using the term snuggling the Grover.
Yep.
So it became a thing, and it's like, that's a really cool thing to be able to do.
So with the Grumpy and Hobbit shows, would you what is your plans with that?
The ultimate goals?
Yeah, like what is...
The ultimate goal, to be honest with you, would be to keep kind of doing what we're doing, but to the point where it's maybe just me and Katrina with an extra person.
Literally, yeah, that's what I was thinking now, 'cause that's what everyone wants.
Getting to the point where it's like you've got 2 or 3 really, really good people, and perhaps have me as like MC or something like that.
Yeah.
Where it's, or somebody to engage with the crowd, someone like Paul and myself, sort of scenario, you know. So it's that sort of, that's my ultimate goal. I think that's the same level as Katrina.
I think everyone wants that. Why wouldn't
if we can do that, I do enjoy being able to provide places for people to perform. I do enjoy doing that, but there is a lot of stress involved in doing that as well.
Because obviously, like the mecca would be selling your own show. Like, you look at me, Mike Healy, Flynn Beetham, like, this is our show, we're headlining, and then you're bringing your friends to just make it more fun, and also now they get to do a spot.
Exactly, like, and that's like, and my ultimate goal is hopefully somebody within our nucleus group gets that spot where they get propelled to the next level. And it's not so much dragging the rest of us with them, but it's more...
Well, it's like the rising tides.
Yeah. Rising tides raise all ships.
Yeah.
It's like... So, yeah, that's the sort of situation I'm hoping will end up happening.
Yeah.
And who knows? Who
like,
knows? I'm still waiting for somebody to actually, like, break out big time.
Oh, yeah.
I'm being really, 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 really friendly to Callum at the moment. I'm banking on him doing quite well, so you know. Hey, Callum.
Nice.
You got to tie your hitch your wagon to the right fucking horses.
Yeah, bro.
Man.
Oh, that's the case with that's my plan. Not my plan. It's because this year Bobby, he's doing Melbourne Comedy Fest and Darwin.
Yeah,
Comedy Fest.
Bobby.
And so next year, you better believe I'm grabbing onto his coattails and sorting that shit out.
Bobby actually messaged me and said, "Hey, you want to do Darwin?" But I said because it was Jasper was potentially going to go over and he wasn't sure whether Jasper was going to go or not. And he hadn't gotten back to me, so I think Jasper's probably going now.
Oh, tough. How do you think we're going to break out of Hamilton then? Because it's not break out of Hamilton, but how do we hype Hamilton up enough where people are like, oh my God, you guys, you're so clever?
Well, they seem to have built a really cool crowd within the Tauranga area sort of scenario.
And even the open mics, consistently good crowds.
And at one point, that when I first started, it was like that in the Hamilton thing. Tom and Paul, mainly Paul, because his rapport and his way of dealing with people. He as an MC, I don't think there's anybody better, to be totally honest. He has that fantastic ability to put everybody at ease and make everybody feel that they're included at the same time. Yeah. It's just a really cool skill that he has. And I don't think you can learn that. That's just...
Yeah.
So,
Because when I was talking to Paul, he was like, very unmotivated.
Probably need to edit about half of this, otherwise the next time I see him, he won't be able to fit through the door because his head will be too fucking big.
Oh, yeah, bro.
So, you got to cut it down a little bit from that perspective.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, because when I was talking to him, he just seemed so unmotivated because I was like, why don't you do more? You and Sandra are clearly top two in all of Waikato. Like, what are you talking about?
What makes Sandra so good is that she just has that
She has the skills.
It's just easy way of being able to talk to people.
Yeah, well, it's not something. That's not something you're born with.
It's a delivery thing, and it's like I've developed it over time as well. I think I'm reasonably good as far as delivery. I'm able to sort of get up and get laughs pretty much every time now. I think that's down to the delivery and how comfortable I am. If I'm comfortable on stage, then people are comfortable watching me. But then again, it's also about being uncomfortable to a certain extent as well.
Yep.
There was a guy that was on in that cult show that I did. Rusty, fucking awesome guy. He's been doing comedy for a long time.
He was from Christchurch or something. Yep.
Been doing comedy for a long time. Really cool. One thing he said, if you can get a laugh before you even open your mouth, that's a fucking win. So you do something, you get up on stage and you do something in some way with your facial features or something you're doing, or just a pause to the point where it's incredibly uncomfortable that people start to laugh.
Yeah.
Anything before you open your mouth, that's a fucking win.
Yeah.
It's like, so I'm going to try and have a go at that.
Yeah. Well, what's it called? What I heard from that Ralphie May thing just is when you say facial features, it's like,
Ralphie was so good at that.
Exactly, but he was like, no beards.
Yeah.
Because your beard hides your facial features.
That's a good point.
You going to shave?
No.
Nah, well.
No, because
shave. Try the experiment.
Yeah.
See, get some results. Then, don't shave. Try it out. Then shave. Try it out again.
That's
see
a good
it's
point.
Better.
I'm in the point where I'm trying to get to that. Have you seen Deadpool and Wolverine?
Yep.
There's the pervy tailor in Deadpool and Wolverine called Mr. Beardo that slaps the guy on the ass and grabs his nuts about 17 times. Ryan Reynolds' nuts about 17 times. He's got white hair and a white beard, and he's got just the perfect little turny up bit on the end of the
How do I not
mouth.
remember that at all?
It's fucking cool.
Nah, not a clue. Can't remember that guy. But
you'll put it up on the thing.
Yeah.
You're going to do a really cool editing job where you're going to have the thumbnail of the guy's face up there, Mr. Beardo from Deadpool.
Sure will.
So it's like, yeah.
So is that what you're going for?
That's the ultimate look. It's like the bits over here sort of curl up a little bit, and then everything else is reasonably well groomed.
Oh, yes.
It's like, yeah. Trying to gets there.
Because sometimes when you rock up in your crazy suits, it's like, oh my god, is he even trying to not scare people away?
Yeah, well, that's the thing. It's like I finally got to this really sweet spot where I don't give a fuck. And as soon as I got to the point where I started doing things because I feel comfortable doing it, and I don't give a shit if other people are uncomfortable with me doing it, as long as it's not illegal.
I'm highly uncomfortable when you do these things.
Hey, as long as it's not illegal, she's all good, mate. If I'm doing something illegal that makes you uncomfortable, then I have to stop that. Eventually.
Oh my god.
I don't know. I like being loud.
Yep.
I like being the centre of attention, and
don't we all?
That. But the clothes reflect that fact as well. I don't know where the duck thing came from.
Yeah, you did get on a duck run.
Well, I got 3 different duck suits now. So I don't know why.
Stellar.
It is what it is. I meant to be doing a set. Did you go up last week at the Classic?
Nah, I couldn't even make it either. First I was going up because Jesse was going up that night. And then he was like, nah, I had to cancel.
Paul was going to go up
and then I told Paul I was going, so he's like, cool, I'm coming. And he told me, I can't make it. And then I had to work a wedding that night, so I also couldn't make it. It was very annoying.
Where did you work the wedding?
Oh, at the Narrowhill Golf Course. I was working there at the bar. And so, there was a wedding, so I was like, bugger.
We had them up for a comedy show.
I know. That's the plan. That is the first place I'll do. Before I do the cafe, I'm going to do there when I get back from
We
Vietnam.
have to have classy people for that one, though.
No, you don't.
No, you don't reckon?
The people showing up to that show is 50 of you.
Perfect. They'll love my shit then. It's one of those situations, and that's why I said to myself ages ago, I see some of the guys, I'm not going to say names or anything else because I don't want to shame anybody out.
Yeah, that's right.
But I see some people talking about their old relationships and things like that, and being quite mean.
Yep.
About their exes and their relationships. And to a certain extent, they probably have every right to be mean about their exes. But I said to myself, because my kids sometimes watch what I do, and I said to myself that I will never be put in a situation where my kids are going to be embarrassed because I said something about their mum in a really nasty way or something like that, you know? So that's one of... It feels like I needed, before I started getting into comedy, it almost feels like I needed to set some ground rules for myself.
So what have you been writing about lately then? And is it, when you write, is it sitting down with a pen and paper? Have you been writing with Billy? Is Billy going to do another set?
I haven't been writing with Billy, but when I'm doing things, I bounce shit off Billy all the time. And
that's cool that she'll listen, because my girlfriend doesn't listen.
What I generally tend to do is I don't write material as such. All I'm doing, I'm having conversations with people all the time. Text conversations, personal conversations, and anytime something comes up and I end up like, something sparks a trigger in my head, it's like, hey, that could end up being a joke. And I'll say it straight away. And if I get a reaction in a good way, then it's like, yeah, okay, we'll work on that. It's like, I am constantly in every environment I'm in testing my material. Sometimes you probably shouldn't do shit like that.
No, but sometimes it is good.
I can't help myself sometimes. I remember, like even way back in the day before I even started doing comedy, I remember one of the funniest stories I got in trouble, but it was the situation where the guy turned around and goes, introducing everybody, the staff at the Waikato Polytech, where they're doing a farming course, and we were there for farmers. They were introducing everybody, and this is such, he's the head of HR, he's a sexual harassment officer, and it's like, and I just piped up straight away without even thinking about it, so if you want to be sexually harassed, that's the guy to go and see then. And it's like...
Because do you have been a...
That was the guy I ended up going and seeing after that, because apparently that comment...
was not
conducive.
Because doing all the stand-up and stuff now, do you kind of feel like going back in your memories, there's like there's kind of like what's the word I'm looking for, like core memories of you saying a line and getting big laughs, like when you were younger or something?
Yeah, there are situations where I'd bring something up and somebody would laugh. I remember when I was over in England on the Young Farmers thing, I was invited, when I went to clubs, I was invited to get up and talk.
Yep.
And a lot of the time, because I'm from New Zealand, and I'd talk about what it's like in New Zealand compared to Australia, compared to England, and farming practices and things like that. Yeah. And I'd get people to ask questions and shit. Yep. So I got used to doing that. So I got used to talking to strangers.
All of a sudden, you're presenting.
And what I really enjoyed from that perspective was when you get to that point where you're telling a good story and you can see the people's eyes light up and they're like waiting for you to say the next thing because they're so invested in what you're saying. It's like, hey, this is really cool. I want to know how this story ends now. Yeah. Because it's like if you can get it to that level where it's exciting enough, it doesn't necessarily... See, this is where I'm struggling right now because there's that line between storytelling and comedy. Yeah. Whereas some of my stories aren't necessarily funny, but they're incredibly entertaining. And
that's where you got to write the jokes.
You got to figure out how to layer it in a way that's got enough funny within it.
Like, have you heard of Mike Birbiglia? He's just a guy I've come across recently, and he's not particularly my cup of tea.
I mean, compared to what I consider myself, like, I think Katrina will go a hell of a lot further than I ever will because she works so hard.
Yeah, come on, man.
Every fucking time she comes out, she's got a new song she's just written.
You gotta be...
She does all of these things like that, and it's like, and because she is a thespian sort of person, she rehearses like everything. She rehearses the whole thing. We were driving up to Auckland. And she just rehearses the whole thing through. See, I don't rehearse my material. In my head, I know what I'm going to say, and I have a whole routine going on, and all these things. I don't rehearse. I don't go through it as such. I just sort of throw shit together as it goes.
Yeah, you got to know what you're saying, bro. You got to rehearse. Like, I mean, I say you gotta. I gotta. I 100% have to. If I don't, there's a clear night and day difference between I have rehearsed enough and I haven't. And there's even a difference if I've rehearsed too much.
Yeah, and I think for me, I think sometimes, it goes wrong for me when I get overconfident in
100%.
my own ability.
That's why I like bringing out a new joke every single time, because every single time it's just that level
You're not 100% sure if it's going to sink or not.
It's that level of nerves, because without the level of nerves, it's like...
at the moment, I'm sort of... What I'd love to do is concentrate, because I'm going up to the Classic on Saturday night, meant to be going up to the Classic on Saturday. So what I want to concentrate on is like putting together 7 minutes of like relatively clean but really tight material. Yeah. So I got the whole thing, because I love the whole thing about dating in your 50s. That's quite a relatable sort of scenario. And I've got a whole lot of stuff that goes together really nicely. So I can just do a whole set about getting older, what it's like to get older and date in your 50s.
Yep.
It's not much fun.
Because that really is the next step, is just going from ragtagging together a 6 minutes to then making a 6-minute set dedicated to one thing.
I've got enough of those. Like, I've been able to do shit where CJ would turn around to me and say, hey, we've had somebody pull out, can you come over to Papamoa tonight? I need you to write a 5-minute set about Deadpool.
Oh, yeah.
So in the 12 hours between jumping in the car and driving over to Papamoa, I'd written a whole set about Deadpool.
Oh, was that for like the nerd theme?
For the nerd theme thing.
Yeah.
And I thought it was really cool that he did that because everybody else, he sort of said, because I only had a short period of time, he just thought of something that was really nerdy and knew that I knew quite a bit about it and said, hey, do a set about that.
Because that's what I like about sometimes going with them is that there is like a theme and it's a chance to...
Craig Little was really, really good at one point. We had a group going where... every month, because we were doing open mics all the time in Tauranga, and every month we would all pair up and we would give each other a word or a subject. And you'd have to go away and try and write a joke about that subject.
Yeah.
And then come back and present that joke, basically.
That sounds awesome.
It was like a challenge to try and see.
Are you doing the next Navarra Lounge?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I hope so, but probably not.
Yeah.
Jamie, it's actually really hard to get in there.
I think it's quite full.
It's not Jamie's fault or anything else.
No, it's just a hot.
There's so many comedians that want a spot.
Yeah, it's kind of like a hot. It is.
I honestly think that we could run 2 Hamilton shows like twice a month.
It is a hot commodity. There's 10 people in the group chat, 8 comedians in the group chat. So yeah, I think it might be booked out.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Because especially, like, I started telling the Auckland people that they could get 10-minute spots, and now they're showing up quite a lot.
Yeah, to an extent. But, I mean, Jamie's careful enough. He likes to have variety, so he doesn't like...
Yeah, I never expect to get
I like
2
Jamie's
months in a
booking.
row.
Jamie does a fantastic job of booking. He's a clever man as far as the booking side of it goes. He does a great job of that.
Yeah.
And I mean, to an extent... he's the booker, but he almost never puts himself on, and that's a really humble thing to do.
Yes.
For me, the reason I book shows is to put myself on the fucking thing.
I will never be booking a show that I'm not on.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I hated it when I was working at The Last Laugh and I was helping out there. If I was doing the sound stuff and I didn't get a spot,
Fuming.
I would be fucking annoyed, especially if it was a good crowd. That's the thing. I hate going to watch other people do comedy if it's a good crowd, because it's like, if it's a good crowd, it's like I wanted to be the one that's killing in that stage, you know. It's like I'm so addicted to the laughs that it's like, if that crowd is a decent crowd, it's like, even give me a fucking minute and I'll be happy, bro. Like, just let me tell a couple of jokes and have people laugh at me. And it's like, yeah, thank you. That's just fucking fix that little fix for me. Thank you very much. It's like, it's an addiction. It really is.
And you got to be an oblivious narcissist.
And that's what Rusty said as well. He's like, me and him are in a similar boat. He's like...
Is he also 65?
He's in his 50s.
Oh, yeah.
50s cunt. Fucking asshole. Fucking 53. 19. I was born in 1973.
Oh, you're only 2 years older than Dad. What the fuck?
Man.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
You're only 2 years
You could be my son, Flynn Beetham.
You're only 2 years older than Dad. What the fuck?
You could be my son, Mr. Beetham.
Yeah, no one
maybe you are actually my son.
No one didn't think that.
Maybe you are actually my son. No. I don't know. I did some pretty crazy things. How old are you?
21.
21 years ago.
You would have been 29 when I was born?
Oh, yeah. That was a good year.
Oh, what?
28, 29 was a good year for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, met some people out in Ngaruawahia way as well. So.
The brothers. By any chance, was it Jimmy Worthington?
Because I went to St. John's, and there's quite a few Ngaruawahia guys still in Ngaruawahia that went to St. John's and stuff. Yeah. There's a fella that goes to the RSA all the time.
Oh, danger. What's his name? I've been going to the RSA more and more lately.
You'll know him, Murray.
Murray. What's he look like?
Short hair, maybe balding, big smile on his face, always smiling, grin from ear to ear, big ears. He's quite a funny dude.
Murray. Okay, I'll
Murray.
He's like, across him.
Yeah, if you know him, you know him.
Yeah,
trust me.
My
friend Helen goes there all the time as well.
Oh, lovely. I just go there to play pool
but she gets annoyed with me because I keep calling her a lesbian. But that's only because Tom did one time, and it's like, because she used to come to my comedy shows. My friend Helen used to come to my comedy shows all the time. And we went to one time, and it was her and her friend Tash were the only two people in the audience one day when we did a show at Spates Ale House.
Oh, yeah, I've heard about that.
And Tom turned around and said, well, you two, you're obviously girlfriends. And my friend Helen was very taken aback that he thought they were lesbians. But what upset her the most is when she looked at the two of them, she realised that she was the butch one. And that's what annoyed her more than anything else, you know. And because I do quiz with her on a Thursday up at Te Aomuru.
Yeah.
And that Thursday, she turned up, and every guy that turned up, she'd ask the same question. So, do I look like a lesbian to you? Do I look like a lesbian to you? And one of the guys, as they walked in, one of the guys that's like, do I look like a lesbian to you? And one of the guys that walked in went, well... just
nice. We started the podcast with surveys, and we've ended the podcast with surveys. Good on you. Let me rip an intro real quick.
Oi, get out of it!